Welcome to the Ben Daniel Podcast, where we're calling a spade a spade. The WNBA continues to prove themselves as a complete and utter joke. This time, we're not talking about the play on the court. This time, in typical WNBA fashion, they're more worried about the drama, the storyline that surrounds the court, than the actual play that takes place on the court. People aren't leaving this 2024 WNBA season overly blown away with what they saw take place this year. But they are leaving this WNBA season with a nasty taste in their mouth after watching the Minnesota Lynx get absolutely hosed in the WNBA Finals. Now, it's bad enough that the Minnesota Lynx only shot 8 free throws in comparison to New York Liberty's 25. It's bad enough that Nafisa Collier, someone who shot the ball 23 times, went to the free throw line 0 times. It's bad enough that Breanna Stewart gets phantom foul calls called on Alana Smith. It's bad enough that Jonquel Jones can bully Alana Smith in the paint, literally committing an offensive foul 2 out of every 3 times down in the post and not get called for it. It's bad enough when that takes place, but to add the icing on the cake, when you have the WNBA commissioner showing up so clearly front-running, so blatantly front-running for a certain team, wearing a New York Skyline dress during the game, wearing a New York Skyline dress during the trophy presentation, it is clear as day that the league wanted a certain team to win, and the referees did their best job to make sure that that team won. I actually feel bad to a certain extent for the players on the Minnesota Lynx. Nafisa Collier battled her behind off last night, only to get robbed by the Foot Locker employees and Kathy Engel braindead. Cheryl Reeve coached her behind off this whole entire series, only to get robbed by the Foot Locker employees and by Kathy Engel braindead. It was so bad, it stung so much for the Minnesota Lynx star player, Nafisa Collier, that she actually did what I am highly against all athletes to do. She went and she took it to social media. And to be honest with you, Nafisa, I don't blame you this time around. I don't blame you at all this time around. Folks, this is one of many posts. Gut-wrenching end to an incredible season. I have loved every minute of being around this team. I love you guys and you have made this the most incredible year. Huge thanks to you, our coaches and staff. You guys are so amazing, and thanks to all the fans for supporting this season. We'll be back. Yes, the post is one thing, but a picture is worth 1,000 words, folks. This is one of those many phantom foul calls of Alana Smith hitting all ball, and then the referees call it a foul. This is an occasion of Nafisa Collier getting punched in the face, folks. Literally taking a clothesline to the face from Kayla Thornton, who played absolutely horrendous defense on Nafisa Collier. Every time she played defense on Collier, it was a foul. Yet, the officials never called it. Why didn't the officials call it? Because the fix was in. Because Kathy Engel braindead and her Foot Locker employees said, no, I already got this nice New York dress on. The New York Liberty have to win. The New York Liberty need to win this game. There's no other way. We're trying to push an agenda here. We're trying to push a narrative here. And it won't fit our agenda if we have a non-super team like the Minnesota Lynx, if we have a legit role model like Nafisa Collier, winning the championship. That won't fit the narrative and the agenda that the WNBA has been pushing all season long. We need to play by the script, and the referees oblige. This is another instance of Alana Smith getting called for a foul on Jonquel Jones. I'm sure this was another occasion of Jonquel Jones absolutely tossing her body weight around, having an offensive foul, and of course it not being called on her. Again, folks, one team shot 25 free throws, another team shot 8 free throws. Folks, this was the game in a nutshell, man. This was the game in a nutshell. The Rudy Gobert with the money signs to the referees. How much did you guys get paid to call this game this way? How much did you guys get paid to call this game in this manner? Before we get into what Cheryl Reeve said, let's take a look at this Alana Smith foul, quote unquote, foul that was called. Let's take a look right here.
To Stewart. Stewart catches, leads, can't hit, but a foul.
Look at that.
Gets it in.
Look at that right there. She catches the ball, takes 4 steps, no travel gets called, and then, of course, right on schedule, we get one of those phantom foul calls courtesy of the trash WNBA referees. Now, it's bad enough when you watch it in real time, when you see all of the steps that Breanna Stewart took. It's even worse when you see this play transpire in slow motion and you can actually see Alana Smith get all ball. You see Alana Smith get all ball. Did she touch her fingers? Maybe. Hand's part of the ball, folks. If she gets her ring finger, her pinky finger, and then hits ball the entire time, newsflash for everybody paying attention. That is not a foul call, no matter how you cut it. And if you don't agree with me, because I'm not a pro, look at all of these pros. Look at all of these top of the level NBA athletes, NBA players saying how egregious this was. I'm sorry, but that wasn't a foul. Let the damn players dictate the outcome of a close, battle-tested game. That's LeBron James. Damian Lillard said refs called this game like they knew the assignment in the second half, boy. Great game. Isaiah Thomas, the Isaiah Thomas. They low-key cheated for New York, but I get it. Again, folks, when you got the commissioner showing up in New York Liberty garb, New York Liberty attire, clearly so blatantly front-running for a team, it's not surprising when one team has 25 free throws and the other team has 8 free throws. Like I said before, this game was the definition of Rudy Gobert walking around throwing money signs up at every single referee in this game. This is just another situation where instead of talking about the game, we're talking about the drama surrounding the game. This is a WNBA special. That's what we got to call this. When we stop talking about what actually transpired on the court, when we ignore a missed layup that could have won the game, shout out to you, Fee, you did miss that. When we stop talking about 1 for 19 and gloss over that, when we stop talking about Breanna Stewart choking, when we stop talking about all the things that Courtney Williams, 2 for 14, when we stop talking about all the things on the court and all the drama surrounding the league, surrounding the game, that's what we call a WNBA special around here. And Cheryl Reeve, I will give you credit. You pulled absolutely no punches in your post-game breakdown, in your post-game interview on how this all transpired. Let's take a listen.
And I know all the headlines will be Reeve cries foul. Bring it on, right? Bring it on. Because this shit was stolen from us. Bring it on.
It was stolen from them, folks. There's no other way to put this game was stolen from them, folks. How can you come out of this game thinking that the New York Liberty were actually the team that deserved to win? You can't. How can you come out of this season thinking that the officiating in this league is something that's okay? You can't. This was the last game of the WNBA season. And instead of talking about what happened on the court, we're talking about the officiating. We're talking about Kathy Engelbert wearing a New York Liberty dress. Folks, can you imagine Adam Silver going to the finals wearing a Golden State Warriors suit? Can you imagine Adam Silver going to the finals wearing a Boston Celtics tie? You can't, can you? Neither can I. But what you can imagine, what you don't even need to imagine, is Kathy Engelbert wearing a New York Liberty skyline dress, presenting the awards in a New York Liberty skyline dress. This game was clearly stolen from the Minnesota Lynx, and it is ever so blatant. This isn't a half pass interference, half not pass interference call. This isn't a did he get 2 toes down? Was that foot in bounds? Do we see a kick above dirt? This wasn't that. This wasn't hands to the face. Why are you calling hands to the face now? This wasn't that. This was a egregious foul call that never should have been called a foul in the first place. And if I was to tell you that the Minnesota Lynx went and challenged this call, and instead of reversing this call, the officials came to the conclusion that Alana Smith wasn't in defensive position, wasn't in the right position to make a defensive play on that, folks, you would be right. The Minnesota Lynx challenged that call, and it didn't get overturned. The Minnesota Lynx asked the referee, hey, are you sure this is a foul? Let's go to the review and let's take a look at that. And instead of coming back to the conclusion, yes, we were wrong, it wasn't a foul call, they got the call from Kathy Engel, brain dead, and it said, guys, just give her the free throws. We need New York to finally win one. We need to follow the script. We need to prop up teams that don't deserve to be propped up. Folks, it is what it is. This has done nothing beneficial to the product, in my opinion. All this has done is highlight the bad displays of professionalism that's been taking place in this league from start to finish. And if you think Nafisa Collier not getting foul calls is in any way, shape, or form a good thing, folks, I have news for you. I don't think the WNBA cares. I don't think that they're professional enough to say, wow, that was bad. We need to change things going forward. I don't think that at all. This is a league that never needed to sell itself to fans. This is a league that never needed to improve, never needed to adapt, never needed to improvise. This is a league that had the ability to, quote unquote, fix things along the way. This is a league that celebrated stat padding along the way. It's unfortunate, but it's true. Will it be different next year? Doubt it. Will I be tuning in to see if Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever can get to that mountaintop and conquer it? Because I know they won't get calls. But will they get there and conquer it? I hope so. It's the Ben Daniel Podcast, what we're calling a spade a spade. The WNBA season is officially over. We will be sticking with some WNBA news, some WNBA updates, some Caitlin Clark news, Caitlin Clark updates. We're going to stay on top of that. But slowly yet surely, we will be talking about some different things. Appreciate all the support. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. As always, take it easy.